it's Nazor here again. Yeah, your favorite Utonwa special in the building. I'm here to talk about children and internet access, smartphones and tablets. Let's discuss this issue. Is it a good idea? But before you answer that, I was on Instagram the other day. Yeah, Instagram always. I know. Don't you used to go to Instagram? Don't you used to go to Instagram? I busy Facebook used to go to. Your own is even worse. Anyway, so I saw a post on Instagram that one man made, Onyocha, one Oyibo man, his name Matt something. I'm going to put it on the screen so you can read along with me. So he said, my kids will not have smartphones until they are old enough to get a job and buy it themselves. Literally no advantage to children younger than that having phones. You are facilitating your child's psychological and emotional malformation by giving them phones. Insanely stupid. Okay, Matt, we hear you loud and clear, but that last line was absolutely unnecessary. So he went further to say, if you think your kids need a phone to get in touch with you, buy them one with no internet and limited texting. So he's saying that giving a kid a phone is straight up neglect. Do you agree? Do you agree that giving your child a phone with internet access is tantamount, is equal to neglecting that child? Let me know in the comment section. Okay. Me now, I'm of the school of thought that there is actually nothing wrong with giving children phones. Listen, we are in the digital age. The world is changing. This world is evolving. So we are supposed to evolve along with it. Gone are those days. You know, that time when we didn't have phones, we didn't have internet and all that. Things are really, really changing. Do you realize that there is so much to learn, especially on the internet now? If anything, 2020 has taught us that the internet is a wonderful place. With the internet, everything is possible. Who knew about Zoom? Okay, for example, now, who knew about, well, I did not know about Zoom. Let me speak for my own self. Maybe you knew about Zoom before 2020, but it's 2020 that made us to know about Zoom when all the meetings till now are held on Zoom. And I believe that even after this pandemic clears, people will still be doing a lot of things on Zoom. My point is that the world is evolving. If you don't give your children access to the internet, they will be backwards. You don't want your children to be technologically backwards, do you? Now, I know that Matt was basically talking about phones, but is it not the same thing with giving them tablets and access to the internet and all? I know that it can go both ways. But I think that it depends on the other factors that come into play. It's not good. I'm of the school of thought that it is not good to give your child a phone or tablet and internet and then just leave them be. Whatever they see there, they take it, they swallow it hook, line, and sinker. I believe that that these things should be done in moderation, and I believe that you should be able to control these things. You should be able to keep a tab, like keep tabs on them and the things that they see, the things that they watch, the things that they learn on the internet. And then I also believe that we should be open with our kids to the point that they are able to come to us with anything, so that anything they see that baffles them, anything they see that confuses them, that they are curious about, they can actually be bold enough to come to you with these things, with any questions that they have. And then you yourself as a parent should be able to answer these questions without passing any judgment on them, because it depends. See, if you like and spoil it by yourself, there's a way they will come and tell you something or ask you something, and then you will now overreact like the drama king or drama queen that you are, and then you will make these children stop coming to you. Is that what you want? I'm assuming that that is not what you want. So when they come to you with questions or opinions about the things that they see on the internet, you are there to guide them. You guide them, help them to be able to filter these things so that even when you're not there, they will not be so confused about the things they see. You will help them understand these things better. It's better they come to you with their questions than for them to carry those questions outside, though, because you don't know if they'll carry the questions to the wrong person that will now corrupt your children. I am of the opinion that tablets Tablets are good though. I believe that tablets are good, and the internet, because okay, let me use my daughter Zite as the case in point. So out of all my children, okay, except the last one that is 2 years old that does not even know how to say anything, all he knows is cocoa melon. Now, out of the first four, Zite is the last one out of them, and then she's just 3 years old. She just turned 3, but the things that this girl knows, the vocabulary that she has built by herself, just with the aid of her tablet and internet, it's amazing. Now, there's something different about her that I noticed, and the other day I was just thinking about it, and I realized something. See, she is sharp. She is really, really sharp and really, really smart. In fact, she's sharper and smarter than her siblings were at her age. As in, when they were 3 years old, they did not know the things that she knows. They were not as lively, as smart as she is. They were smart, oh. My children are not Oludu. They were smart, but my point is that they were not as smart as she is. And then there was a time I was wondering that, why is this girl like this? How did she get to know these things? Is it her character? Does it have to do with her character? Why are others more reserved? Why are others different? And then it hits me. It is the internet and the tablet, because back then in Nigeria, the first three did not really have access to the internet. Yes, at a certain age, I got them tablets, but they did not have internet. The only thing they were doing with their tablets then was to play Subway Surfers and then play some few games that I download for them. They did not have access to the internet. Once in a while, then I would just connect them to my Wi-Fi back then in Nigeria. They would just use it to play Subway Surfers. Still, they didn't know about any other thing. They would just, okay, YouTube, sometimes they would just go there, watch Emanuela and come out. They did not know any other thing. And then because the time with internet that they had was very limited, I would just collect it and then disable the internet again. So they didn't get to know much. But then we moved to the US. Internet is boku boku everywhere. Internet's plenty. And then I bought a tablet for my baby. Then she was just 2 years old when I bought the tablet. She wasn't even talking then. She wasn't speaking then. And then internet 247. So this girl was always on YouTube Kids, watching Cocomelon and everything. Will you believe that everything this girl knows now, I did not teach her? She knows all her colors. She knows numbers. She knows animals. She knows facts. Like this morning, I was baiting her, and this girl out of the blue said, chicken eggs. Snakes like to eat chicken eggs. I was taken aback. I was like, what did she just say? I said, what did you say, Mama? She said, yes. I said, snakes like to eat chicken eggs. Where else would she have learned that? From her tablet, because she keeps watching things that actually educate her. She keeps learning things. The other day I was looking at my phone. I saw this Jurassic Quest. There's this event happening soon. So she saw it and she said, Mommy, that's a dinosaur. And I was like, oh my goodness, how did you know what a dinosaur is? She also told me one time that dragons breathe fire. That fire comes out of dragons' mouths. Most children, my other kids back then in Nigeria at her age did not know these things. And then this accent thing, most Nigerians or some Nigerians are fixated on accent. Even there are people that now teach children how to have accents back in Nigeria. So most of these children that have accents back home, apart from the schools that they attend that helps them to cultivate this accent thing, it also comes from the tablets. This girl now has not started going to school. Because of the pandemic, she has not started going to school. She doesn't even mingle with people that have accents here because we've been staying home, locked down, but yet she has an accent from the tablets. So if you ask me, this internet and tablets or phones can actually be a tool that can help these children develop mentally, emotionally, and every other way you can think of. It is not all bad. Like I said, there are two sides to these things. If you do not keep tabs on them, yeah, it can be a tool of destruction. But you don't want your kids to go astray, do you? So I'll advise that you can let them have tablets, but let there be moderation. Let there be steps to moderate these things in place. For example, she doesn't watch anything other than YouTube Kids. She's tired of Cocomelon. In fact, the girl feels like she has outgrown Cocomelon. So she watches other programs on YouTube Kids. And then even if you want to do the normal YouTube, then get paid subscription on YouTube. That way ads will not be popping up, because some people are worried about the kind of adverts that pop up sometimes, because their kids might be watching videos innocently and one kind nonsense they hear advert to just pop up. So to avoid all those advert then get paid subscription on YouTube. And then also there are apps you can download for safety, so you can actually install safety apps for your children. Because that reminds me, if you are watching and you know some safety apps that you can recommend for me to download for my kids, because I don't really know a lot of them. It's just I don't really know a lot of them. I just know a few that I'm going to leave in the comments section. But if you know more, please let me know. Also, another thing you can do is that you can actually censor what your children watch. And then you can actually put restrictions on their tablets and phones, right? You can lock up some things. I locked up some things in my children's tablets. Even I put a password that they cannot even access internet without me giving them the code. And then another thing I do is that my kids, set screen time limits. Yeah, this one is a no-brainer now. Everybody does this, right? Me now, my kids, when school is in session, they do not have access to their tablets or laptops or iPad or whatever. It is only during the weekends that they're allowed to touch it. And even before we went on summer break, it got to a point where my kids were not even touching their tablets anymore, even during the weekends. But when summer break started, I gave them access to it again. So normally I give them access to their devices during the weekends sometimes, and then also during holidays like now. You can put screen time limits, which is to say that they can only use their tablets from a particular time to a particular time. Like in my house, they start by 12 p.m. and yeah, I will admit that throughout this holiday, I let them just go. Like I let them use it. Sometimes I will not lie, they use it up to, like my son now, sometimes he plays games up till 2 a.m. It's not good though. I know it's not good, but all these things, sometimes I allow it because it doesn't happen all the time. And once school starts now, I collect everything. They will not even touch it again for many months to come until they go on another break. So sometimes I just let them be, because they're actually very good kids. My kids don't have personal smartphones yet, but I would eventually get, and I will get it soon. But for now, they use a smartphone that I give them whenever I'm going out, just so that I can reach them and they can reach me if they need to. But I don't see anything wrong in giving kids smartphones when they come of age. And me, I feel like, let me know in the comment section what age you think is best for your kids to have phones. I feel like at the age of 13, they are good to go. From the age of 13, they should have smartphones. Not necessarily because others are having smartphones, because most people are like, others in their class has, so they should have as well. I don't subscribe to peer pressure. If I want, I will not give it to them till they turn 18, like maths children. But I give them for a reason, not because of peer pressure. I want to give them so that they can actually learn to have self-control, so that they can actually learn certain things. You get? I don't know if you're understanding me, but that is what it is. I feel like if you tell your child in clear terms that smartphones are forbidden, you know what it is when you hear that something is forbidden. Ask Eve. Once she heard that the tree of knowledge of good and evil was forbidden, that was where she now wanted to go and eat from, of all the trees in the garden. So that it's the same thing. Once you tell them that a smartphone is forbidden, or they are not allowed to have smartphones, once there is a very bold restriction placed on it, it will spark their curiosity. They will now want to know what it is about smartphones that my parents don't want me to have it. And let me tell you something, don't forget that you will not be going to school with them. When they get to school, their friends have smartphones. That thing you are hiding, they will see it outside. Is it not better for you that you should give them the smartphones inside house, so that you can actually keep tabs on what your children are being exposed to? Because when you say you can't, it sparks their interest, and then they get sneaky and they start sneaking out with friends and watching stuff on their phones. So like I said in the beginning, I would prefer to give them smartphones. Then I will know Let me know. I'll be keeping tabs on them from time to time. I'll collect their phones and go through it. I know that children are smart and that they can actually hide things and everything, but that is why it is good to teach your children values. It is very important that you teach them values, instill values into them, because it is those values that will guide them when they are getting confused by other people outside, when they start getting confused by their mates outside. Those values you instilled into them will never leave them. They need to come into play and then help them, to guide them, to know what is good and what is wrong. And above all, pray for them. Oh, see, don't underestimate the power of prayer in the lives of your children. Be a praying parent. Pray for these children. They need as much prayers as they can get, because this world, listen, I believe that it is harder to raise children in this day and age than it was back then. Because back then we did not have the internet. Back then we did not have smartphones. Back then we were not exposed to what these children are exposed to now. So sometimes, even when you teach them that values, even when you do your best as a parent, it is only the Holy Spirit that can help you with these children. Oh. That's why it's good to instill the fear of God in them, so that the Spirit of God inside them will always guide them, no matter where they are, even if you are not there. Listen, do you know that till today, there are things that we want to do? As old as I am, mother of many children, there are things that we want to do right now. First thought that will come to my mind is, what will my mother think? What will my father think? What will my father say if he hears this? Well, do you know that when I went to university, when I was in Unizik, for the first year, I did not wear trousers. Yeah, because of the values that my dad instilled into us when we were younger. But eventually, I started wearing, not because others were wearing, but because I felt comfortable wearing them. Because back then in Unizik, we used to enter Okada a lot. There is no way I felt comfortable wearing skirts and long dresses or gowns on top of Okada. So trousers were the way to go. I was wearing it not because people made me wear, like I said, but because it was comfortable for me. So pray for your children above all things. I remember one time that my son came to me last year. So because they play, there are these games they play now. It's like a communal kind of thing that they play online with other people, with strangers and everything. So there was this boy that my son played with, and then the boy, I think, told my son to please help him download something. The boy couldn't do it. To download in a level or so of the game, the boy couldn't do it himself, and then because of that, he had to give my son his password and his username or something, so that my son could have access into his game, into his account on the game, and download the thing, and install the thing. No, so my son now did that though, and then my son decided to be mischievous, and then he changed the boy's username and password so that the boy couldn't enter anymore. And then in my son's mind, maybe he felt like it was cool, it was fun and all that. But do you know what? He actually told me, he was laughing. He now came to me and told me that he did something to one boy. It was amusing to him. And I was all ears. I wanted to know what he was talking about. And he told me that he helped the boy to install something, and then he changed the password and the boy couldn't enter anymore. You could see the innocence all over his face, that he didn't know the enormity of what he had done. He didn't know anything. But me now, I did not judge him. I did not scold him. I didn't yell at him that, why are you this wicked? Who born you? Where are you from? Why will you do such a thing? I just told him, I just painted a scenario for him. I just told him, imagine that you gave somebody your username and password to help you do something, and the person changed it and you're not able to get into it. How would you feel? That made him now think. He did not think of that side. To him, he was having fun. To him, he was being cool and everything. I now asked him, I now told him that that boy is probably feeling so bad wherever he is. Maybe he's even crying, regretting and everything. If you see my son's face, when they said that somebody's face fell, his face fell, like he was visibly shaken. And then he was like, oh my God, that he did not think about that he's going to change it immediately. And then he changed it, and then he sent the boy a message and apologized. I did not tell him to apologize. He did it of his own accord. He apologized that he's so sorry, that he was just playing and all that. And the boy said it's okay. And I was actually proud of my son that he understood and that he was able to correct and fix what he had done by himself. So my point with this little story is that I did not judge him. I did not yell at him. I did not shout at him. If I did that, trust me, that boy will never come to me to tell me anything again. Whatever he does, he'll be doing it on his own. He'll be like this woman that used to overreact. If I tell her now, she might even knock my head. She will do this, she will do that. But I didn't judge him. Instead, I helped him to see. I gave him another perspective on the issue. And then he understood that what he did was very wrong. And since then, he still comes to me with things, and he still talks to me, and I still talk to him as well as my other children. I'm going to end this video right now. Right now, I am ending this video, but there might be a part 2 eventually. I don't know. Just watch out. Just that's the reason why you should turn on the subscription. That's the more reason why you should subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell if you enjoyed this video, so that you will not miss the next one that might come up. I don't even know when it will come up, but I know it will come up. I'm ending this video right now. Until next time, my name remains Nazor.ezeh, aka Utonwa Special. Stay safe, stay blessed, and we're gonna see ourselves in the next video. Bye.